think it's important when you can represent who you are and encourage students who look like you. Do you think that's important?
Yes, I think I did a speech not too long ago to a group of educators and students in my college before I graduated, and I talked to them about the importance of having male teachers of color, because when you think about a person of color, especially a male in the school district, you'll see them in the role of a coach, custodian, or a bus driver. You don't see them outside of that role, and I think subconsciously that can beat a student of color down, thinking if I go into education, I have to coach. You know, when I got into education, people always ask me, do I have a coaching endorsement? And I don't. I don't have a passion to coach. I played sports, a couple of them when I was coming up, but that just isn't my passion to coach. I want to teach. And so I think it's important seeing people of color and males of color doing just that nurturing role of, I'm caring for your brain. And that's what my main concern is doing that.
I love that. I know one of the things that really upset my son is that he when he was in college, everybody assumed he was an athlete. And he's a software engineer.
Right.
And he's like, Mom, he's like, it's okay for me not to be a coach, or it's okay for me not to be an athlete. But for some reason, people assume if you're a young black male, then you are in college somewhere related to
some athletics or sports.
Yeah, and I, you know, my son attended a college far away from where you attended, you know, college, or where you're even attending. So that seems to be sort of like a negative, you know, thought that people have out there. When we talk about you being in the classroom, you being a representation for African American males, did you know that only 2% of America's teachers are African American males?
I had heard it was something around 1, 2, 3%.
Isn't that scary?
Sounds accurate.
It's accurate, but now, do you feel a sense of pressure because of that?
I think I do a little bit, but I can handle the pressure because I know the ability that I plan to perform. So for me, I feel it more of a push up rather than a push down.
Okay, so you come to the classroom more prepared than most.
I would probably say so.
More prepared than most, in that you're active member of the communities. I'm not even going to list all of your community accomplishments, which is beyond, you're in your mid-20s, beyond some people older than I am. And I commend you for those. You have a wide list of community accomplishments. You've worked in the school district as a bus driver. You've worked in the school district as a tutor through an amazing program. And you also are homegrown, so you know all these people. You have a lot more to offer in the classroom than most teachers. And so with that said, you bring all this to the table. What do you need from us as teachers, as a community? What do you need to help you stay motivated and pumped? What do you need from us?
For me, what I like to get from veteran teachers, or even the mentor teacher I just was assigned, is I like to have that reassurance that I'm going in the right direction. I think that's the whole purpose of having people around that have done what you've done already, is because they can help steer you on how not to make mistakes that they've made, and to give you tips and advice on to make better decisions going forward. For me, I take advice. When I get advice, I like to take it and adhere to it. I know some people like to use it in comparison, but I actually do follow good advice most often. So veteran teachers, I like to know, am I doing the right thing, or would you do this, or if you wouldn't, why wouldn't you do this, and so I can rethink it.
So someone, say for instance, we're not going to work together, which is sad, but I'm so happy that you found your landing ground. But if I came to you and I offered advice to you as a veteran teacher, would you accept that advice, or would you want me to stay in my lane?
I would accept it.
Why?
I want to know, you've done this far. I have my idea of what it is to be a classroom teacher, but I haven't been a classroom teacher. So I want to know, for some reason in all your years of experience, you felt a necessity to tell me that. And so I want to hear what it is and why it is, so that I can either take the warning or I can take the good advice and make a good decision.
Because you know what, I do think it's important when